What if our sun disappeared? What if one day, the sun vanishes? The moment the sun disappears, we will have no idea that it has vanished, because the last light emitted by the sun will take 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach the Earth, as it is 150 million kilometers away. But when this time is up, there will be incredible panic and fear among people. 8 minutes later, since there is no reflection of sunlight, the moon will not be visible at all, because the moon reflects the light from the sun to us. As soon as we see that the sun has disappeared, we will lose its gravitational effect, and the Earth will jump out of orbit and start flying in a straight line. When the sun disappears, panic and fear will dominate the world, and when you look at the sky in these dark minutes, it will seem as if some things never happened, even for a short time, because there is no limit to the speed of light. 24 hours later, panic and chaos will sweep the world. Governments will have almost no control over the situation, and the temperature will drop by a few degrees everywhere. Plants will no longer be able to breathe in carbon dioxide and exhale the oxygen that sustains life. Actually, this is not a problem. In total, we are all 7.5 billion people, and we breathe about 6 trillion times each year. Fortunately, our atmosphere is stored with 1 quadrillion oxygen from millions of years of photosynthesis in the past, so we have enough oxygen for thousands of years, including other animals and microorganisms that consume oxygen without photosynthesis. We will need to use fossil fuels for heating, lighting, and electricity, so cities and towns will continue to be lit by man-made sources, just like a typical night. Think of it as a continuous night that is never quite daytime and never ends at the same time everywhere in the world. 1 week later, the average surface temperature of the Earth, which is slowly losing heat without the sun, will drop to 0 degrees centigrade by the end of the first week. Because, according to the formula Q equals emitted that you see on the screen right now, the Earth will not lose its current temperature immediately. Our world will start to cool down gradually as it is deprived of light and heat sources. Day by day, we will slowly feel the continuous decrease in temperature. At the same time, plants that depend on sunlight to survive will become unable to photosynthesis. In about 1 week and 10 days, all green plants on Earth will die and disappear. Mushrooms, on the other hand, will continue their lives for a while longer because they do not need photosynthesis, and the Earth has not yet frozen. 1 month later, authorities will very quickly start building sheltered cities in places like Iceland, where hot geothermal waters are abundant, and urgent measures will be taken. These geothermal cities, which can generate their own electricity and provide heat, will be temporary, but will be sufficient for people to live for many years. However, most of humanity will not have the chance to live in these structures due to lack of space and resources. Most of us will die of cold, thirst, or hunger within a few months after we run out of what we have, and the human population will drop to 500 million. 1 year later, by the end of the first year without the sun, the Earth's average surface temperature will drop to -73 degrees centigrade, and the Earth's oceans will freeze. Most animal and plant species will disappear. The food chain of the oceans will be interrupted as algae dependent on sunlight will also die. Creatures that feed on algae will die. Other small creatures that feed on these creatures will also disappear. Since the fish feeding on these small creatures will also die, larger fish will also become extinct. In other words, all living creatures living in the oceans up to a depth of about 2 kilometers will disappear. 10 years later, within 10 years, the Earth's temperature will drop to -200 degrees centigrade. At this temperature, nitrogen and oxygen, which make up almost all of the atmosphere, will freeze and fall to the Earth as snow. In short, the Earth's atmosphere will no longer exist. Organisms such as extremophiles living in the depths of the ocean, where sunlight never reaches, will not be affected at all, and will become food for clams and tube worms by converting heat into the energy they need, not through photosynthesis but through chemical synthesis. Invertebrates at the bottom of the ocean will live without even realizing the sun has disappeared. Under the ice, the ecosystem will continue for millions of years without us. The Earth is now a sphere many kilometers thick, covered with nitrogen ice on top and water ice underneath. After a while, the lucky people trying to survive in sheltered structures around geothermal sources will realize that they need to embark on bigger projects. As a result of this realization, they will build cities consisting of a network of tunnels at depths of hundreds and thousands of meters in order to benefit from the increasing temperature deep into the Earth's crust. They will be able to sustain their lives in these tunnel cities for thousands or even millions of years by obtaining their energy from the hot magma deep in the Earth's crust. Thanks to the heat of the magma, they will be able to generate electricity, light up, produce air to breathe, and even grow plants and animals. After a while, this life in tunnel cities will become normal for humans. Maybe even generations later, we will forget that we even live on Earth. If humanity can advance in the field of space technology during the thousands and millions of years underground, perhaps one day they will be able to move to a planet with favorable conditions around a star passing close to the Earth and return to their normal lives like today. However, this will not be easy to achieve. As you can see, dear friends, the destruction of the sun does not mean the destruction of humanity and life. Although we will have a very difficult time, there is a possibility that those of us who are lucky will survive. Of course, in this process, the creatures living at the bottom of the ocean will still continue their lives without realizing anything. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.